Good morning, YouTube. And yeah, you're right. I am late. And I send my apologies, but I mean, just dang. And this looks like I think I'm supposed to go out this way for, I want to get, yeah, hey, y'all bear with me a minute so I don't cause major structural damage. Yeah, I'm a little late, and my excuse was I needed some coffee, so I just stopped by the truck stop to get me some coffee because I've been rolling all night. I've been doing one of yours, Mike. I've been doing a all nighter trying to get to this next get rid of this next load. You know how it is. You know, being a night owl, being a vampire, blah blah. I don't see how you do it, blah. I, I don't see how you do it. Blind, blind, freaking blind. But hey, we get it. But yeah, I had to get me some coffee. Stop again in a minute, but I had to get some stuff taken care of. But I can feel it. It's time to go home. I'm tired. I need to get some real rest. I need a new I need a the mattress that they got. You know, I'm completely miserable when I go to sleep. It's hard as a rock. You know, so just simple stuff like that is bothering the bejesus out of me. But it is what it is. You know, it's part of the process. I'm a hard-working individual. I'm working hard for the money, so hard for it. You know what I mean? And that's what we getting there. What the heck? Freaking cop right behind me. What the heck did I do? You know how that goes. Uh, we shall see. Hold on. I'll start talking in a minute. You know how it is, be black and have a cop right behind you, make you nervous. And like, what did I do? I'm just driving like a normal freaking human being. Oh, he's passing. Hold on. Let me block the camera screen so you don't think I'm doing anything. Yeah, I know, it's way over there. It's way over there. But you ain't supposed to be doing that. I'm not. I can barely see you guys, but you can see the light. You know what I mean? And I don't want, but whatever. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's on the mount, and we doing what we do. You know what I mean? But you know, I gotta go pick up this. I know I gotta drop this load off, and then you want to know I can set up for later on today, and me and my big mouth acting like I'm super trucker. I'm like, no, 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 because I messed up, almost missed screwed it up yesterday, and I said, no, 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 set me up for the next day. I'm not used to having a DM that actually calls and asks questions. It just gives it to me. The other one's been giving it to me. I actually have a new DM that actually knows what the heck they're doing. That's a first, crazy. That's first and crazy. Um, the other part of that is I can't wait to get home and see about my plugs because they were so got to keep it nice and wet so they can before because they're starting to get cold. I think I probably got a month before they start going dormant because in Georgia the dormancy really don't start till like November on that type of lawn, the warmer the lawn. My Bermuda has started to come back. It figures it wants to start. It wants to grow. Want to come back. It wants to grow. When I get like when I said screw it, I give up. I give up on you. You know what I mean? But I mean, it is what it is, and but it wants to come back. But I'm like, I'm gonna keep on putting these plugs in there, and hopefully that it will overtake and kill off the Bermuda. That's my plan. I want to just flood one area, then move on to the next area. So I'm probably going to, get like one box for next month and one box for December, and one until it's time, to for the growing season to start again. I mean, that's all I can do because I overdo it. I get OCD. I got to spend all my money now and buy all that now. And I've got other videos I'm gonna making. I, I just bought two new tires, and I was thinking, wait a minute, I'm putting it on the one I'm about to sell. No, I'm gonna put them on my good one, my good. I got my Ryan core aerator, and then I'm gonna put the older tires on the other one. I'm just gonna get them changed so it makes it look better. But right now, I'm just gonna do one, and I got the middle piece for the front, and I'm gonna just be playing with that for the next few days. Um if I can get the hydraulics working, I'm gonna jump that price up to $1,000. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'll maybe put it up to 2 grand and say in my back of my head, if he wants to talk me down to 1,000, then I'll sell it. I don't know. I'm a horrible negotiator. But I need room. I need to get it out of the way, and I'm also going to. There's an engaged switch for my Toro Greensmaster 1000 that was missing off of this. I bought it salvage at the I bought it salvage at the auction, which is going on right now, but there's nothing worth buying. Thank God, thank God. Because I looked, I was like, let me check, and it's going on right now. When I get off here, I might check and see if there's anything worth getting, but it's not because I'm full. But I want to get that engaged switch and the cover for the front reel, and start fixing that one and putting that one up for sale too. I'm going to be putting three of my mowers up for sale, and just get them out, get them out. I don't really need them. I might hold on one to one of the real mowers just for shits and giggles, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Um, One of the things that I wanted to talk about today, um, And let me say it like this, because I always feel like it's an attack. This is a personal feeling, and you're not attacking me. You're just talking about it. And so I want to say this: if anyone is thinking that I'm not attacking nobody, we can agree to disagree. We can have a difference of opinion. That's what having a an adult conversation is all about. But a lot of us, we get to the point, it's my way or the highway. Um, I'm not going to name the lies, but you know, my one friend of mine, he was like, man, I went on a live and I heard this guy. I said, man, bro, don't pay him no mind. He a professional troll. He trying to get people to come and engage. And you got to understand that, because when you have conversations, people get people get mad, people get frustrated, and the drama sells. But nobody wants to deal with the drama. Nobody wants to understand the drama. And the problem with that is, you know what? And I gotta find the name of this. I think it's TikTok. They do a webcast, and the brother talks about having emotional maturity. And he says a lot of women are not prepared for a brother who has emotional maturity. I say it all the time. And I pray that one day I will be to that point that I have such a thing, because such a thing is a powerful thing for a man to have emotional maturity. Now, I'm going to tell my story. Uh, some it's going 9, 10, some 11, 12 years ago. Uh, I physically had enough. You know, every decision I made was a bad decision. I was in a new house over my head. I couldn't even afford to put food on the table. The gas was cut off. I had no help. My wife would not. My wife of the time, not the wife now. I had no help. I had brought, her mother to come down and live with us because she was starving, but I had no help. And every decision I made, I just had an operation um, to fix. Um, I had a hernia operation to fix my hernia, so I was in bad shape and still working a physical labor job. Installing satellite dish and stuff like that. I mean, I just had enough. And I came across the fact of learning how to drive a truck, and I was all for it. My first endeavor, I failed miserably. I literally would have ran over every cone. The first, driving test, I literally ran over every cone in the parking lot. I was so bad. I'm so bad at taking tests. It's like putting a shotgun in my head. Um, but I was on the brink of losing my home, um, losing my motorcycle and my car. I had to literally did a volunteer repo on the motorcycle, um, and the repo on the truck. I had a Chevy Silverado black. Man, it was nice. Didn't have it that long. I had that. They told them come get it. They told, oh, we can work with it. Come get it. You're gonna come get it anyway. Come get it. I Once I got my license, I didn't have the gonads at that point to say I wanted a divorce, but I had enough. But I was so used to being um, abused. It's like the Munchausen syndrome. I was so used to it that I just kept on. And I went and got on the road and was learning how to be a truck driver. I was literally starving. I was eating packs of ramen noodles, all I could afford, and had a microwavable bowl. And when we stopped at the truck stops, I added water from the coffee fountain, microwaved it, and that's what I ate. Every dime I made, I still sent home, even though I wasn't coming back. I was being responsible. And I remember my ex-wife, the only time she would call when it was time to pay the bills. Wouldn't call to see how I was doing, wouldn't call to see if I was training, wouldn't call to see if I was okay, wouldn't call just to talk or nothing. That's it. Left me to my own vices. And I struggled and struggled. And finally, it took forever. It's embarrassing to tell you how long I said, look, um, I'm not sending nothing. I said, no, I was saying I was something. And I remember my ex-wife had said something off the cuff to me, and went off on me and said, "Are you cheating on me?" And was going off and yelling at me and all this stuff. And all I was doing, struggling, trying to. I wasn't coming back. I'm telling you right now, I was not. I did not plan to go back. Period. And I remember, and I said, you know what? That's it. I want a divorce. And I commenced to yelling and screaming and cussing and screaming and yelling and everything. I want a divorce. I've had enough, and I'm sick of you, and I'm sick of how you treated me. And all I've done was try to do the right thing by you. I've had enough. And you know, it's funny. When I started driving a truck, I was only making 22 cents a mile. Now I'm at, I think, 64, somewhere around there, and that's kind of low at certain places, yada yada. But I remember being broke. I remember struggling. I remember, that's why I can. That's one thing I cannot, I cannot get over is not having money. That's I can survive. I'm a big boy, and that's funny. You're still a big boy, and you ain't got money for nothing, including food. I survived. I made it. I made it through. I know what I know what it is to be broke. I know how it is to live broke. I know how it is to survive. And slowly but surely, I came out of it. But I've always had that fear. I've always had that fear of what would happen if I lost all my money, or what money I had. You know what I mean? What would happen? We have, our sisters out here, of all different creeds, let's say like that. You guys think that a man has to have this, and that you got this long behind list. I'm gonna go off the end deep end for a minute here. You got this long behind list. You have to have you have to have six pack ass, but you're a fat ass. Good, because you gotta love a big beautiful woman, and you're not big. You're a big obese woman, but you gotta be, as a man. You gotta have six pack ass. You gotta have your own place. You have to have your own car. You have to have a degree in some. No, you can't have a bachelor. You've got to match my same level. Well, how? My first question is, how can I match? And I'm married now, so this has nothing to do with me. But I'm having flashbacks. We know the story about that. I'm having a flashback. How can I match your level when all I've been doing was surviving from day one? I tell this story about when I first met my wife that I love to death, even though she thinks I'm like every other typical Negro, which is totally unbelievably stupid. Sorry. And if she hears this, I'm right because I love you to death, and I'm not gonna do that dumbass stuff that you swear that I'm capable of doing. No, I'm not. I'm not. Them days are done. I'm done with that foolishness. Even those days, I wasn't doing it then because I didn't want it done to me. But back to the story. You got to match the same thing. But how can I match it if I left the marriage and I knew I was gonna wind up being going to jail or a knife stuck in my neck or my back if I stayed in that house any longer. I remember when I left, I was like, well, we're gonna make some room here. I'm gonna take this over to my parents. So that was my excuse to get some of the stuff that I wanted to keep. But when I left my house, I left with the shirt on my back. That's it. My ex-wife burnt my clothes and threw everything that was mine out. I left penniless. I had nothing. So my question is, would you love me because you thought I was a broke nigga? A broke ninja, a broke person. Would you care to try to help me rebuild? Or do I have to rebuild on my own? Would I have to be rebuild on my own? And here's the crazy part. When I left and I started to rebuild, and I moved from company to company and company to company and company to company and company to company for a few years, started trying to rebuild. And I did a lease purchase. I leased the truck. Then I realized today that I wasn't prepared for that. That's a whole different thing. And I was training, and I was in the back asleep and about to get up, and my trainee ran into another truck and almost killed us both. And I remember when I leased that truck, I moved everything I owned. I didn't have much because I was getting back on my feet. Everything I owned into that truck that burnt down to the ground. Everything I owned. Pictures, my camera full of memories of my son, my boy, everything I own, I lost in that accident. So once again, I had to start to rebuild. I was broke. Once again, I had to start from the bottom. But see, this is the thing I have with uh there we go. Hold on. Shoot. What the heck? Don't you just love it? Let me pull over. You can't, yeah, you just can't make this mess up, guys. You can't. You can't make this up. Hopefully. Let's see here. Yeah, literally, you can't make this up. Brother. You just can't. You can't make this up. Okay. No, it ain't the truck. It's my mount. I need a new mount. Mike. I'm just a cheapskate. I need to get a new mount, and I'm a cheapskate. So that's where that's coming from. I'd rather spend money on lawnmowers. Okay, well, let's get going. Now, where was I? Okay, now, you know, it's just like, okay, if you're a businessman or you're a lot of you women are in the corporate climate. When you got someone that you don't know about, what do? You 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 vet. What's the word? Vet them properly. Properly vet them. Properly learn about that person. Properly understand where that person is in life. You know, properly figure out, is that person worth it? And it's what I liked. There's a TikTok video about a woman, a sister who she explained, they talk about men, and and they asked her about, does she date or whatever, which could you date someone that makes less than you, or broke or whatever. And she said, you know what, I am a good, and this lady made, she's a million, they call it $1 million something or other. She owns a trucking company. And she says, I'm a good judgment of character. I know I know what type of driver I'm looking for. I know what type of man I'm looking for. She said, well, they said, what if he don't have any money? And she said, that's fine. I just need to know where his head is at. As long as I figure out where his head is at, I can get him to where he needs to be. And a lot of what's going on nowadays is people don't want to bother to know where your head is at. As a guy, we're supposed to be super ninja. We're supposed to have all of this stuff, not knowing that some of us have had a bad stretch of life. Some of us had went through something, I would say, that we didn't deserve, but I've always thought that I deserved it. That I was paying penitence or whatever for past sins. And then at the point I said, I asked God, did I pay I should have paid all of my past sins up by now. I know, but then I had to realize that Jesus wiped away all my sins, but that's been ignorant, but that's another story. And I asked myself, and I've asked this of folks, are you really vetting your partner? Are you, before you let them into your life, are you giving them a chance? Are you finding out where their head is? Are you waiting to see when the phoniness is going to come out? We hear a lot of stories of, I had a man, and he quit his job and just started doing nothing. My wife did that when we moved into our new home that I was about to lose. As soon as I moved in the home, she quit her job. 6 months in, I had to threaten her. I said, I'm not paying the gas, electric, and water. They will cut this shit off if you don't get a job and pay for it. I had to threaten her. We have people that will do to us what we allow them to do. And, a lot of times everybody says, well, you got to have this, you got to have this. I got to survive. I got to survive. There's another, you can find it coming around, that the guy interviews this young sister, and she says, how much does a man have to make to date you? She said, it's between me and my man, because if we're gonna go down, we're gonna go down together. If we're going to screw up, we're going to screw up together. If we're going to make it, we're going to make it together. And I attribute my building up and moving up to God, and blessing me with the right woman, because she didn't have to. She didn't have to come in, because the way you guys be saying this stuff, I'd still be single right now. I'd have probably got on my feet, but I wasn't gonna get my own place. I'm over the road truck driver. I'm not paying 12, 13, 2 grand a month to be home 2 days out the month. I wasn't doing it. And I finally look, I blew the engine on my pickup truck. I wasn't in a rush to get it fixed because I'm only home in Georgia for 2 days out the month. Do you'll get what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I'm not spending that. And then I started stacking my money. I started putting it up and putting it up and putting it up. You said, well, you weren't broke. Yeah, I was. I was physically broke. I was spiritually broke. I was mentally broke. I was relationship wise broke. I had some money saved up, but it there was no purpose behind it. And you're saying, but you still had some. But I considered myself broke because I had no purpose. And it's funny when I met my wife, and I tell a story about I was just straight ignoramus, you name it. I tell the whole story. Long story short, I had a Boost Mobile prepaid phone card. That's all I had. And she put me, we weren't even officially dating yet. She put me on, and you could call her whatever, but she had a trust and soul. I guess she saw something. She put me on her phone, whatever. She says, I can get you this phone. And I'm ignorant, like, oh, wow. She's a beautiful, sweet woman. And, it didn't dawn on me, hey, pay your bill. Until she came out and was in tears. She's like, why are you not paying? And I'm like, oh, snap. I was supposed to pay this. And I was humiliated. And I was crying in the corner. It was freaking hilarious. I laugh about it now, but I was humiliated. And, my question is, she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself that was workable, that, okay, I can work with it. I can work with him. He don't have nothing right now. My credit score was rock bottom. She saw something. She saw something in me that was workable. I can work with this. Because see, ladies, y'all always worry about some man running and ain't no man telling me what to do and telling me what to this and that, running and blah blah blah. Ain't no man blah 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 blah. But y'all don't realize the power of the power of your tongue, the power that it can make a man get out and work 12 or 13 hours a day. The power of your voice can uplift a brother to get him to say, no, I gotta be better and do better. The power of your voice. I'm not letting him lead. You know what? Most of the powerful people, even our government, you see the president, they ain't really running stuff. The ones in charge are standing in the wings. The ones with the real power. You don't realize how much power, ladies, that y'all have at your fingertips. But you want to be the forerunner, the one in the front, the one that humiliates and brings a brother down, and you don't realize that the power of your tongue can tear a man to shreds within seconds. And it's funny, me and Charles talk about all the time. Every woman's gonna hurt us. We just got to figure out the one that we want to allow in our life to hurt us. Ladies, y'all ain't never gonna get that one, but men understand. We're gonna be hurt by anyone. We just got to figure out which one we want to let hurt us. But my question is, would you love me if I had nothing? And it's so funny. She did. My wife, my future. She was my future wife, and my girlfriend, my friend. At that point, she was showing me like she seen a potential in me, and I didn't realize it. But I was by the positive energy that I seen in her. I seen her. I was so ghetto and so far off the deep end of foolishness that I remember one time I was walking I was getting upstairs. I'm looking at her. So what are you doing? She said, "Oh, I'm paying my bills." And I was like, "What do you mean paying your bills?" Because I had the notion of you got to catch me. I ain't paying shit. I know that sounds stupid. Yep, I'm a dumbass. But she said, "Yeah, I know. I put all my bills for the month, the gas, electric, water. I pay it. I write them down, and then I pay them." And I noticed when she, at zero and she had nothing, I said, "Okay, well, okay, let me take out." And this is when we were dating. I was just coming into town. Let's go eat. I'll pay. I got it. And she was good. She was, whatever. And I started seeing that all the time. And I said, you know what? Let me let me get me a notebook and do this. And let me pay this. And let me figure this out. It's so funny that I started figuring out that instead of ducking and dodging the bill collector, I need to make payments, make this and make that, and figure it out. And I started fixing my credit, and I started building credit. And it's so funny. She's seen the potential in me, and she, that's my wife is one in a million. So trust me, I ain't fucking going nowhere. I'm not an idiot. Guys that they just cheat anyway. Now, fuck that. Excuse me. Screw that. And I remember I trying to figure. Now I lost my train of thought. But my whole thing here. Oh, and I started realizing. I started realizing because I started comparing her to past relationships. This woman actually cares about me. Hold on a second. Sorry, I had to cough. I didn't want to cough in the ear. I realized this woman really cares about me. And, I was scared to, I was newly divorced. I was scared to start all over and do this again. But I always wanted to be in a real relationship, a real loving and caring relationship where someone actually loves me. She's insanely jealous of what? I have freaking no idea. And don't I dare tell my YouTube family that my wife's insanely jealous. Yes, she's fucking insanely jealous. Sorry. I'll get in trouble for that one, but she's insanely jealous. Of what? I have no idea. You know. But, you know, hurt people hurt. You know where we're going with that one. But the fact is, even though I was just so broke in so many aspects, and she said she wanted to get a home, and she needed this much money down, and she didn't have it. Didn't have it. Couldn't find it. Couldn't figure out how to get it. And I remember that's what I had in the bank. I was holding it back for I don't know what I was holding it for, but I gave her every last dime. I didn't even know we was gonna be married yet. I said, I got that. It's yours if you want it. And again, clueless, because we this how we think. It's all about the money. It's all about what you're gonna do for me. I didn't think like that because I seen that I finally found someone that I was actually making happy. Someone didn't think I was a piece of shit. That didn't think I was a piece of dirt or crap or no good ninja and all these other things. Someone that actually gave a flip, that gave me all indications, that gave a flip about me. So that's when I started the process of vetting her out. She don't like to hear that. I just had a simple. I said I got to make a list. If I want to ask this woman to marry me, if I want to ask this woman to be in my life, what do I want? We always talk about what do you bring to the table. No, what do I want out of a partner? What do I want out of a wife? I just got married the first time because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I thought. And I know that was ignorant and stupid also. So what do I want? And I went down I wrote a simple list. And each one was checked off quickly, quickly. And I remember, because there's another thing you ladies do, or you got to make the ring has to be 10 times the amount of monthly. And y'all know I'm exaggerating, so don't leave it in the comments. Come on, give me a break. But you know what I'm saying? It's got to be 10 times the amount of what you make a year or a month, and that's what the ring's got to be. I seen a ring on Instagram. It was so big and full of diamonds. It was looked so stupid on this lady's finger. And you're gonna tell me that's the wedding ring or the wedding band? You got to walk around with an AK-47 on your back to protect them. That's stupid. And again, I got the video, but I was so embarrassed because I think I paid $1,000 for it. I paid 1,200, total 1,200. 1,200. The other 200 was some kind of warranty type cleaning, whatever, that you can go to Jared to get it cleaned and fixed at any time for a lifetime warranty, whatever. But I was so embarrassed and in wondering, you know, how am I going to do this? Is she even gonna? Is she even gonna be? Is she gonna be okay with this little diamond and little man? She loved that damn thing, and it was tickled pink. It swallowed her hand. But again, that's all I could afford. I didn't make the minimum that folks. Well, you got to make six figures to be with me. No matter what. You work at Wendy's, but you got to make six figures. Do you see what I'm saying? How stupid are y'all sounding? And I'm not saying y'all, most y'all that are on it, some of y'all married. How stupid is that? How stupid is that? Hey, I say I bring it. If I didn't say hello to you guys, I'm driving. My mouth's falling all over the place. Please forgive me, but this is real life here. Brother got to work. And, it's so funny. And I said it. And I say these things because I'm reminded of different stories. And I said, you know, I know it's a small ring, and she didn't care. And that was another thing. I'm like, thank you God, I got the right woman. But I want you to have better when we get a chance. When we get a chance, next thing I think it was the next time I was home or whatever. We was over there, Jared, and the guy that I bought it from, he knew, he felt, he sensed blood in the water. Is the gay brother that I've known for years. He sensed blood in the water. He's like, well, why don't you try the credit card, and you can make payments on it. And I already said, well, I can't. My credit sucks. He said, I'll do it, and she did it. And he said, this amount of money you qualify for. She put her finger down and said, I want that ring right there. Put it on. and we traded the other one in, and all she did was swipe four of her fingers on my face, and she just said, "All you gotta do, baby, is make the payments and make them on time." And that was the battle cry for my broke ass to man up, grow up, and make the payment. I didn't care if I was starving. I made them payments on time. I broke out. I would. That's when I started my own book of making and paying the bills. I still have that book. I still have that book, making and paying those bills. And what am I saying? In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, it's sometimes it's not about how much money someone makes. It's about the person. Are they a giver? Are they a taker? Or are they a mixture of both? Are they ignorant and they never been taught before how to do the right thing, and they just been walking around trying to figure out life and screwing things up, and they just needed the right person to have their back, which was me. Prime example, which was me. Really, which was me. I'm waving my hand, which was me. Is this man? Can I interject in his life and make his life better? And can he come into my life and make my life better? I know she vetted me, and she still be eyeing me and the whole night. Can I make his life better? I'm not saying that works for everybody. I'm just saying what happened to work for me. And like I said, I told her the other day, you don't realize I worship the ground you walk on, because you gave me purpose. You gave me something I needed. There's this song, I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to feel what love is. You know, um, there's an old song. It was on what's that? Family Ties or something like Michael J. Fox with that guy that sung the song, Billy Very. Wouldn't even realize. I found out who it was. Billy Very and the Beaters. There's a verse in one of the songs when Michael J. Fox broke up with this woman that he said, "I would fall down on my knees, kiss the ground that you walk on, if I could just hold you again." I've always been a helpless romantic, but I didn't know how to be romantic. I didn't know how to find that romance. A lot of that got shot out of me, but you know how that go. But ladies, some of us are hopeless romantics, and all we need is simple. You see, you wonder why a lot of men don't make six figures, because we are workers. We go out. We're electricians. We're you know uh you know garbage truck drivers. We do the physical stuff that you guys don't ever want to do. We kill the bugs, or you run the rodents out of the trash and the dogs and all. That's what we do. The world just hasn't caught up with us. That's why we don't make what y'all make. Half the men that you know don't want to be sitting in no damn office. The men that sit in the office are predators anyway. That's why they call them house husbands. I mean, they call them work husbands. They're predators. They want to get in your drawers. I've heard stories about that crap. You know what I mean? And like I said, this is just my conversation, my opinion. And it's not attack against anybody because other folks have difference of opinion. Other folks have been through other stuff, so I ain't trusting no nigga. I bet you is you guys show me your bank. You guys show me how with your stocks and bonds. You guys show me this. You got to show me that. Well, guess what? That's what I do now. I have two stock portfolios. My 401k is 10% right now. And my wife was like, and then, she said, well, that's your stuff. No, no, ma'am. Whatever. When she lost her job, she didn't realize Fuller started selling stock. So we stay afloat. We stayed, and we stayed. We were okay. And then guess what? I didn't regret it. That's what I had it for, to help us survive. Because guess what? This woman reached down. I just lost everything. I met her. I lost everything in November. In March of the following year, I met her. She reached down in the miry clay and grabbed me and said, I'll be your friend. I got you. And I'm not saying that's going to work for everybody. I might be a woman. And, that's what I'm saying. She noticed that I like, it's so funny. I didn't realize because my father was mechanical and he fought all the time, and I really didn't want to be bothered with him. And he was an asshole. But it's so funny. I started playing with these small engines. This is why I started my page and fixing these lawnmowers. And I fixed one, and I was so happy. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. It's on a short. And y'all didn't see the tears, but there's tears rolling out my eyes. And I said, Daddy, I did it. It might not be a car engine like you used to do, but it was an engine that I fixed. And it was something that I done. It's like we laugh about it because a lot of folks, y'all don't think that you guys are helping. It's like a counseling session. And I know we're gonna charge you. I'll remember that when I start getting paid, and we'll have free giveaways. How about that? We'll say it that way. I tried to get some stuff, and you see how that went down in flames. Tried to get some shirts. You see how that burnt up in the that burnt up like whatever. Well, I'm gonna try again, but we know how that we'll do better. But see, what am I saying about this whole conversation? Each situation demands a different result. If you've done this in your relationships and it hasn't worked, why keep on doing it? Try something new. Try something different. Something's gonna come out. Something's gonna change. And yeah, I could have pulled myself up by bootstraps, but it probably would have took me a whole lot longer. It would have took me a whole lot longer, and I would have been more miserable. And I tell you, I say that to say this today. I've never been more happy in my life. I got my hobbies. I've never had a hobby before. My hobbies is cutting lawn and making videos about me cutting the lawn. Look at me. I'm going up and down the road with this highly expensive John Deere W36R. It's going to take me forever to pay for it. Freaking car note. But it's mine. Do you see what I'm saying? And I forgot to say this, but I forgot to say this coming up next. Frugal Mama. Get your workout on. Hey, Frugal Mom, if you're still in here, you'll be proud of me. I did 20 squats. I got out the truck in the dark, looked around, make sure nobody ain't gonna bop me over the side of the head, and I did 20 squats. And I'm back on my keto. I'm gonna be making videos about me losing weight again, back on my keto. And and back onto the let's keep on continually fixing ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody isn't broke. What you might think is that that's a broke ninja, broke man, broke woman. They just might be highly damaged, but they are repairable. And that's what we're gonna talk about tomorrow. And guys know, as always, 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 always. If you don't think nobody loves you, know that I love you and God loves you too. Y'all have a blessed day. See you tomorrow. Deuces.